Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yes. Okay. How you guys doing? Can you hear me now, right? That'll make stitch there. Okay. Good morning, Bear. Hi, Timothy. Raining, so it's gonna be cold. Hi, Bruno. From Denmark. Cool. Too loud. What's too loud? Oh. Hi, Jodix from Sweden. Wow. Hi, Jesse from Texas. Okay. Howdy, partner. Hi, Alan. How are you? I'm well. I'm well. Hi, Chris. Who is this? Steve Jojo. Where are you from, Steve Jojo? Hi, Calvin. Calvin Teo. How Koyo? 谢谢. Rod Mix from Southern California. Hi, Rod. Okay, cool. You guys can hear me. Good. Let me have my coffee first. Thank you, Ricky. Hi, Leonard. How are you? Hey, I love all your videos that you did. The what you call it? Sleepwalk. You did sleepwalk, right? And then the couple more. Yeah. So I'm gonna call you soon. Hola, Ivan. Ivan Solano. Yeah. Oh. So you okay? All right. That's a good place to work. UOB, good bank. Yeah, I have an account there. Oh, Denver, Colorado. Oh man, that's one place I always wanted to visit. Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. I always had like imaginations of the Rocky Mountains ever since John Denver came along into my life many years ago. And then Joe Wash, you know, and there's so many songs that's been written about Rocky Mountains in Colorado in general. So, and I'm a Western fan, so I watch a lot of Western cowboy films, and yeah. So tonight I'm gonna use my what you call this? This is the Line 6 HT25, 20, 25, 20. What is this? 20. Okay, the HT20, right? So I managed to find a way to kind of hook up to my interface, because my interface was giving me a problem. And so I was playing with the Helix Native, and the things didn't came out correctly. And there was like a clean signal mixed with the processed signal. So I thought I'd just use this HT20 to get a direct sound from the cap sim directly out into into the interface. Oh yeah, I believe so, Steve. Coca-Cola. You know, Bear, I just saw a what you call it? I just saw a documentary about Coca-Cola in Mexico, and how Coke is like the #1 beverage in Mexico, and that's like really scary. And well, the documentary highlighted the amount of diabetic cases in Mexico. So I don't know what's the I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on behind, but I guess, but it's kind of like Oh, I did, right? So it's Ivan, Ivan Solano. I'm from Colombia. Okay, cool. Hi, such a man. Ohio. I don't know. What, tonight? Konbawa? Oh, Dr. Mize, Jesse, yeah. Okay, give me some thought about it. I'll give some thought to it. That's a nice song to cover. I know, Bear. I've been there from Arizona, from Tucson. I went over to Mexico. My host brought me over. Bought a cowboy boots there. Didn't wear it. It's a bit too. Well, I wear it for a couple of weeks in sunny Singapore, so it looks kind of funny. There's no horses around, and cowboy boots just doesn't go well without spurs, you know. Well, they're cheap, I guess, but I don't know. It's like, yeah, there's this documentary that said that the Coca-Cola in Mexico tastes way better than the ones that's been sold in the States, and it was disproven because all along they thought that the Coca-Cola in Mexico uses real sugar, like raw sugar. Nope, they did not. It's the same sucrose, right, that they use, same as the ones that are like bottled in the States, as well as here. Just sweet, just whole lot of glucose in this bad. You know, I gave up drinking Coca-Cola a long time ago. I guess when I used to drink Coke every night when I was working in the clubs. That was bad until I got hooked onto coffee, which is just as bad, but lesser evil. Boots with shorts. Yep, that'll be a nice sight. Timbul by Hati, I cannot understand apa ni? Melayu. I can talk a little bit, but I cannot understand what you are writing because I have to Google translate all this, and it's gonna take a lot of time. So if you can maybe just type like simple English. So you wanna ask me question? Yeah? Boleh? Maaf. Wow, power burn. Nice. Right, so where were we? Duck to my eyes. Right? That's the song. Yeah, I'll think about it. Timbul, you're from Jakarta. Ah, okay. Well, I'm just like guessing what you're saying about the Nuex Plexi Crunch. Plexi Crunch, yeah. Okay, so you like the video. Terima kasih. What? Who's into coffee too? You prefer coffee? Yeah, me too. So I gave up drinking Coke after I left the clubs, because in the club you're well, the thing with the clubs is that all the clubs that I played, they have free beverages, meaning I could drink all the beer I want if I choose to. And there was at the get-go there was a club that was quite popular back then, back in the early 80s or the late 80s. Mid 80s, right? And they allowed me to have like unlimited beer intake for a night, which is not good for a musician because if you get drunk, yeah. In any case, I nearly got hooked on to beer, right? Nearly got addicted to beer, and I found myself loving beer, loving to drink a jar of beer before I go on the stage, you know. And I taken a liking to it. I didn't get high and nothing like that. It just took a liking to the malt, and I decided, and then I already quit this before I become a alcoholic. So I quit cold turkey, and then I went back to drinking beer now. So I never went back to drinking alcohol. Yeah. If I drink a little bit more than I should, then my face will start going beet red, and and feel my heart pumping, and I just don't like that feeling. Coffee, on the other hand, it's an addiction and a necessity at the same time, because after I quit playing in the bands, in the clubs, I went to work as a full-time recording engineer, and I was working like really weird hours, like hour. The timing would be like so varied because I might start a session at. I mostly go to work in the studio at about 9:30 morning. I have a session on 10, and that would take me until about 5. And at the same time, I was working as a session guitarist, so I was like moonlighting as a session guitarist. And sometimes I would play guitar and session guitars in the studio that I work for, and sometimes I have to go over to another studio. So let's say my shift starts at 10. I'll knock off for lunch about 12:30, and then I come back again to the studio, start recording, and I'll probably finish about 6. Yeah, and I would take my dinner, and then I would continue with my guitar sessions, or in my studio, or I'll head on to the other studio and start doing sessions. And what kept me going was just coffee, just plain coffee. Sometimes I forgot about lunch. It's either I'm too busy or I didn't have time, and I'll just forego lunch and it's just be coffee. It's coffee black, this is like really bad for you, especially the stomach. And the shit hits a fan when I started having like really bad pain in my stomach. It got so bad that I couldn't stay anymore, and I punched the wall, and I forgot that the studio walls was made of soft material, gypsum board and stuff like that, and I cracked it, and that was really painful. And went to the doctor. The doctor said that I might be developing a stomach ulcer because of my coffee intake, which is acidic, because it's all black. So he advised me, like, if you're gonna drink coffee a lot, then just drink it with milk to kind of lessen the effect of the acid reflux in your stomach, and take regular meals. And for a start, just take small meals, before before you have permanent damage to your stomach, which might result in stomach cancer, in the long run. So I took his advice, and I've always drank coffee with milk ever since then. And that was back in 1991, 1992, yeah. And no coffee black for me, just coffee with milk. Hi Orion, hi Colin, hi Alan, hi John from El Paso. Oh man, El Paso. I remember this old song about El Paso. This old, what's this guy's name? The one that sang Water. What's that guy name? Oh, man, my dad used to like buy his 45s. And there would be a picture of him all in black cowboy suit and everything, with his gun drawn, his 6-shooter drawn. What was this guy? I forgot his name. Help me out here, guys. Yeah. Anyway, Alan Ledinger, yeah. Do you know a company in Singapore that ships to the U.S.? I can't find UX. That's it, Marty Robbins. Thank you, Timothy. Yeah, my man. wait. Sorry. I always get distracted. The stage man too. The amp. You want the amp? Oh, okay. Well, I have one that I'm trying to sell. Yeah, because they sent me one and I'm not using it, so I'm just putting it on sale. So you can hit me up and email me if you want to. All right. And I'll check what's the shipping like, because it's gotta be expensive, like shipping all the way to where you are, Colin, any cool new favorite chord progressions lately? Well, there's one here, incidentally. Yeah, since you asked, there's this nice thing that I got. Something like, can you hear this? Just bring down the gain a little bit. it's kind of hard to do because you got to be real precise. And it's best to get all the chords. And yeah, I'm trying to work it out. I came across this accidentally because I was just fooling around the guitar and oh, that sounded nice. Yes, Leonard, Marty Robbins. Hi Jack, how you doing? Bear, a question, what are the main languages spoken in Singapore? In Singapore, we have a couple of main languages. I guess everybody knows English because we have to learn English in our school. Let me bring this down to. Okay, yeah. So it's English, Chinese, Malay. Yeah, these are the three main language in Singapore. So we can all speak a smattering of any of these three. Even the Malays do speak Chinese these days, so it's quite incredible. And then apart from Chinese and Malay and English, there is Tamil. So, well, these are all mother tongues, right? So Chinese, Malay, and Tamil are mother tongues. For me, I'm a Chinese, so I have Chinese. But even on Chinese, there are other dialects. So there's Hokkien, there's Teochew, there's Cantonese, there's Fuzhou, there's Hainanese. So because we live in a very, how should we call it, close proximity in our apartment blocks. When I was growing up back in the 70s, in the 60s, late 60s, 70s, I grew up with Hainanese folks. And they would speak their own dialect, and I would learn a couple of phrases from them. And my best friends are all from Hainanese. My best friend back then, even now, I have a couple of good friends that are still, close to me, and they're Hainanese. And then as you head off to school, then there'll be like guys or mothers who send their kids to school, and they'll be speaking like Cantonese, and you learn Cantonese from drama, like the Hong Kong drama that comes into Singapore back in the 70s. You learn Cantonese from there, and then Hokkien, of course, is my mother tongue. So, yeah. So all in all, a basic Singaporean Chinese will probably have to learn all this. Not learn, but know how to speak a smattering of dialects, Chinese dialect as well as Malay, and English and Chinese Mandarin. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. I'm old school. It was on the radio when I was a kid. Yeah. Marty Robbins, man, I love his voice. I love the song Water. Right? Yeah, it's just like a storytelling. And I think I got all my influences from these old cats because these old country songs, because they have beautiful stories in songs and lyrics, and the way they've been delivered is like watching a western just by listening to a song, and that kind of like influenced me as I started writing songs later on, and the way I approach my lyrics and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's just good influence. Music was way better there. Yeah, okay. So, well, unless you have someone coming into Singapore and and they're going back home to where you're from, that's one way. Yeah. Red Llama, hi. How are you? Where you from? Jack Colin, fine wine. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm good. I'm hungry right now. Yeah. I'm just dying for the pork chops that my wife cooked. It was on radio when you were a kid, John? Yeah. Well, my dad bought the 45, so I played like I played it so often. Yeah, my dad is a big influence on my music life in general, because he would. The funny thing about my dad is like he's so anti the American government back then. We're talking about back in the 50s, 60s, because he saw everything. He lived through World War II. He was so utterly disgusted with how the British handled the defense of Singapore. He was right in the middle of the bombing, right, in Second World War. He would tell me about his experiences when the places he used to stay with my granddad near, in case you guys are in Singapore, near Collyer Quay, in Clarke Quay, that area, because there's a whole lot of go downs, a lot of storehouses where they store rice and flour and all that, and that's where Singapore River is, where the big ships will come, and then they will get this little tongkangs, this what you call that, cargo ships coming in, and they will offload all this stuff. My dad used to stay somewhere near there, in near Pasir Panjang, the side. I'm not too sure, but it's near the Singapore River, and the Japanese bombed that area, and there were a whole lot of casualties, all civilian. My dad used to tell me that when the air raid sounded, he would hide under the big oak table that he used to have in his house with my granddad, and they would hide under the table, and then when it's all over, everywhere would be so dusty, and he would, just being a curious young man back then, he was like about in his 20s, he would step out of the house just to look at what is happening, and all he could see is just dust. So when he went out of the house, just out of the house, he stepped on something squishy, and then when he looked down, to his horror, he saw a body that he just stepped on, and it was like decapitated. So he was stepping down on the body, and blood was gushing out, and yeah. So as he went out to the streets to see what was happening, there was fire all around, chaotic. Couple of houses were blown to smithereens, and there were bodies on the street, some with no head, arms, or legs. It was just like a horror, like a horror film, and there was blood everywhere, and he was in shock. Basically, he was in shock, and he told me the smell in that area was like something that he couldn't describe. It's a mixture of dust, smoke, burning of plastic, and blood, So he was telling me that, and he was so disgusted with how the British left the defense, left Singapore defenseless, basically, and just surrender, and well, in any case, he harbored a sort of a dislike for the West, but at the same time, he embraces the arts that is from the West. Like, he loves shows, he loves movies, he loves Hollywood movies, and he always tell me that that he hates the West for what they stand for, how how it is, and how they went about colonizing countries. And then when the Vietnam War started, he went on and on again, and he was so anti-America, but then the funny thing is that he loves American music, so he would bring home all these 45s and 33s of good old cowboy songs, like from Marty Robbins and from a whole lot of others. He has a wide collection, and he brought home like I said before, like I mentioned this before, like musicals like South Pacific. What's this other one? The big one that I really like. Oklahoma. Yeah, and all this, he would buy the albums. He would actually buy the albums, and he would play it at home. And I get influenced by it when I was a kid, when I was growing up. So that's a big influence. And he always tried to teach me like Chinese history. And I remember I was always getting bored, because it was like, man, I want to learn some American history. And I was so like influenced by the American television and the culture and everything. So I would pester him, and he would bring me to the American embassy in Singapore. This was back in the 70s, and the American embassy in Singapore back then wasn't like a fort. It was open to the public. Anybody can go in. There was no security check. There was no armed Marines or nothing like that. Like now, like I just went I went like to the American Embassy like 2 years ago to apply for the working visa for the gigs that I was doing in Vegas. And the whole place is like a fortress, so much security. But back then in the 70s, the American Embassy was open to everyone. And I would head there with my dad, and I would just straight head up to the library, and I would spend at least about 2-3 hours there just looking at American history. The Civil War, the War of Independence, how the Constitution was found, everything. I just want to learn as much as I can, and yeah, I always appreciated my dad for letting me have that opportunity. I miss my old man. He's a great guy. Anyway, so B. Peter, hello John. Hope all is well with you. I received my Harley Benton Fusion 3 HSH and I'm really loving it. I would like to upgrade the pickups, but for now they do me fine. These things are really great. Yeah. I think one of the best things that come out from Harley Benton are the Fusion Pros. They are really good guitars. Fusion, even from Fusion 1, the idea was there, the concept was there, even though they kind of like, got a lot of mistakes along the way, but they managed to iron out everything. Right, the Sparky, my little Sparky, I love the guitar to bits, and the other one, the HHT, love it because it was well made, it's well constructed, no flaws in it. Pickups are okay. I mean, I like the Roswell LAFs, and then the LAFs 2 or whatever. There's another LAF on the Sparky. I love the pickups, so I'm not going to change them. It just stays where they are. Although I did change to the VegaTrem. Yeah. Orion, how do you like the PRS scale length? Okay, so glad you asked. Now, this is a 22, custom 22. Now, unbeknownst to me, I did a video of the PRS 35th anniversary S2 Custom 24. I chanced upon the video that I did and go, whoa, and it's the same color. Exactly the same color. But I remember that it felt very different from this. And that's the reason why I bought this, is because I'm so comfortable with this. This is a 22. Yes, the PRS have a weird scale length. This is like 25, 22 frets. Almost like a Les Paul, but yet not like a Les Paul. A little bit more tension than a Les Paul, which is fine. And I'm so used to a Strat 25 and 0.5, and this is somewhere in between. And the fact that it's 22 is just nice because, it doesn't get really crampy up here. On the 24s, it gets a little bit crampy here. And I just like the way it sounds. And I always like the 8515, even though this is the 8515S or something like that, yeah. But the scale length is comfortable for me. Yeah. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna complain I'm hungry throughout this live stream, so bear with me. From Russia, hi. What kind of music do you like to listen and play? I love all kinds of music, except for this hardcore jazz, which I don't understand. Contemporary jazz, yeah, it's okay. I can dig that. I like country. I love country. I love country. Country, I guess, is my second favorite. My first is rock, right? So and pop. So I listen to all sorts. I love Latin American music too, Bossa Novas and stuff like that. Cha-cha. Love them cha-cha, and yeah. So Red Llama, you're from Sengkang. Okay, you're quite far away from me. Yeah, Sengkang is about from where I am. If I cycle there, it'll be about 70 km. Maybe more than that. Yeah, maybe more than that. Crab chips, yes. Thank you. Big Iron, Marty Robbins, yes. Colin Diaz, hey John, hope you're 007. Have you watched the new movie? No, I haven't watched that. I'm gonna bide my time. I hear a lot of reviews about it not being good and all that, but I don't believe a word they're saying. I love James Bond. I'm a Bond fan ever since I first saw Sean Connery. Yeah. Steve Joe Marika. What's that? The Streets of Laredo was another cowboy song by Mar. Yeah. And Laredo, wow, man. Yeah, John. Yeah, that would bring back a whole lot of memories because I used to have like comics. I used to get comics. I used to pester my parents to buy me comics. And some of them would be like Western comics, like, the guns of Laredo, stuff like that. I love them. And I remember I have a cousin who was staying in Brunei. He was really well to do. And he loves me a whole lot. He took a liking to me back when I was young. And he used to have a collection of classics comic books. You guys remember that? Especially you guys from the States when you were growing up. The classics. So basically these are like classic books like Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens, and whatever you have, on comic form. And he actually brought his whole collection down from Brunei, which is like 2 stacks, and gave it to me. And I was like, man, it was the best part, And I would spend my time reading them. I love it. But then happened that I didn't get quite good grades back then, It's not because of the comics. I don't think it's because of the comics. It's just that I'm not really good at studying. You hear that? That's my stomach. Anyway, my dad was so pissed with me because he was so angry at me for not getting good grades. He threw the whole bunch away. Oh man, my heart was broken. My dad just was so pissed. And then my mom understood. My mom just kept quiet and told me, go get it. I said, how to get it? They're in a rubbish chute. I stay up at 7th floor. So we live in an apartment block. So there's a rubbish chute that goes all the way down. So I went down when my dad was sleeping. I went down and I tried to salvage as much as I can. And they stink because there were a couple of stuff, rubbish and stuff there. But I managed to salvage a couple of them. Took it back home and hide it. Yeah, I love those comics. Hi Chris Cortez, how are you? Rod Mix, yeah, nice guitar. I got a 2006 PRS S2 that I got for cheap because the frets were really worn down. Local shop would put new frets in the plex setup for $400. My God, stainless steel is $200. But should I do it? No. I don't think you should do it. I don't. How come it does? I don't think. Well, you might want to. I don't know. Maybe you should get another opinion because a new fret doesn't cost that much. $400 is a whole lot of money. Yeah. El Paso City. Nice. I heard that too, Jack. Yeah. John Stout. World War II hurt civilians and soldiers alike. Can't fault your father for mixed feelings about the West. Yeah, I mean, he the funny thing about my dad is that he has all these sentiments, but yet he chooses to send me to a English school. So in case you guys don't know, I'm from SGI, which is St. Joseph's Institution. It was formed by a couple of priests from Portugal, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Leonard. Leonard comes from the same school as me, Comfort Spirit. So it's a missionary school, so they're Christian Brothers school. So yeah, even though he has a sentiment against the West, he still opted to send me to a English school. I guess he knew that the future lies in the English language because Singapore being a hub, in a port city, we depend on the English language. Yeah. Steve Jojo, I love the use of Sapelli bodies in the Fusion T. Yeah, I know, it looks good. Chris David, yesterday I played a Fender guitar plus Telecaster. Oh, Fender player. Right, had a belly cut with no forearm contour. I love the sound. Do you get it? Do you buy it? Bear, history is written by those who won. My daughter's history teachers refers to Native Americans as savages. My God. They're still doing that. They're still doing that. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah, that's bad. That's sad. The Native Americans are the natives. It's the whites that came over who are the aggressors. Yeah, they're the invaders. SSG, which of the necks is closer to Nick's Johnston neck? Custom 22? Oh no, none at all. None at all. Wait up. The next Johnston has a really fast neck, so it's nowhere near what the PRS is at. PRS, this is the regular pattern, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not as slim as the next Johnston or the Jack Fowler. Jack Fowler and next Johnston share the same profile, neck profile, and even the purple PT Special, it has almost the same profile. It's a fast neck. I think the Schecter's necks are really, really fast, meaning they are not like super thin like the ones in Ibanez, but yet it's really easy to play. I don't know what they do. Seriously, I don't know what they do, but it worked. You know, I always enjoy myself playing on the Schecter's neck, and that's the reason why I procured them. You know. So no, the profiles are different. You know. Closer. Well, they both have the same. So there is this thin pattern. I guess a thin pattern would be more akin to what the Schecters has to offer. Yeah. I haven't tuned this guitar. It's in tune. It's been there for like, yeah. I last played this like 3 days ago. Just a tad out. Just a tad out. Alright, so where were we? My favorite PRS was a SG245. Nice. Mihun, go to a store. What? Lala Schifrin, the composer, Argentina composer, all the 70 shows. Nice. Ultra Punk. What is the best option between a Fender Ultra Deluxe and a PRS Fury? I would go for the PRS. If I haven't like, you know, played on this and I played on a PRS 4, I might just get a PRS 4 instead. But then again, I might not, because I have enough strats. You know, I have so many strats, and like I was talking about this, like a single double. So the PRS Fury, yeah, it's the same single double, and yeah, I don't think I need another one. In any case, I think my baby would get angry. But the Fury is a really nice guitar. It's a really good guitar. Oh, Jim Reeves is another great, yeah. Yeah, it's someone that I also listen to. Steve Jojo is an American Mimi? What's that? What you talking about? Mihun? Colin, Phrygian mode question. If you had to play in the Phrygian, any favorite chord progression? I would never play on a Phrygian anytime soon, unless it's something that I need to do. And there's no favorite chord progression, because Phrygian is in a quiet taste, because it's like, unless you're like into metal music or into like some avant-garde stuff, then yeah, you probably will apply the Phrygian mode. For me, I don't do all this stuff, so it's kind of hard for me to tell you. Right? What is $400? What $400 is he talking about? Oh, the Plex setup. Okay. Yeah, I mean, but are you staying in California? Are you in California right now? Alright, so Epiphone BB King launch next week. Nice. Another semi-solid. Jack Collins, I have a Harley Benton Emerald Green Custom Deluxe 24. Wow. Okay, it's a nice pickup, the 59 Classic. Yeah. Nelson Fiorella, yeah. Have you tried the last Wilkinson vintage style locking bridge? No, I have not. Yeah, are they good? Well, if you stay in California, right, you might want to find your own luthier or your own guy to work on it, to refret. I think it will cost a whole lot cheaper than anything else, because $400 is a whole lot of money. Forget about the plaque, get a good luthier who can just do the refretting and set up a guitar nicely. Yeah, you're done. There's no way to there's no way I'm going to spend like $400 US to have my guitar refretted with nickel and plaque. No way. $400 is probably what I'll pay to get my guitar fretted with stainless steel and plaque over here. But not a whole lot of people does plaque. Is the PRS Fowler the best option as the first electric guitar to own from PRS? I'm not an OB. Been playing line-on for 23 years. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, it's a good guitar. Yeah, I prefer that guitar. I said it in the video. I prefer that guitar to the what do you call it? The one by John Mayer's. What guitar is that? I can't remember the name. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's a Barrett guitar. The Fowler is a Barrett guitar. So Nelson, I'm wondering what's best. Who's best? VegaTrem or New Wilkinson? I got the same HP as you. Or you can try. I mean, I haven't tried the new Wilkinson that you're talking about. The locking bridge. I don't understand how do they lock, right? So the VegaTrem is not a locking bridge. It just has a really nice mechanics working for them. Really well designed. That's all. And yeah, it helps me to stay in tune. Silver Sky. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Oren. That's why I love my VegaTrem. But all right, Rod, glad to help. Timothy, orange Schecter is so sweet. Oh yeah, love it. What? How, Ruben? How are you liking the tremolo trem bridge I'm going to join? I recently got the same guitar as you in pink. Good for you. And Wayne recommended me to swap to. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I always love VegaTrem. So the thing about the VegaTrem is that for this guitar, you need to kind of like, yeah, just route out a little bit because it might not fit in properly. So you just ask Wayne to route out for you. Yeah. He knows already. He has experience doing it for me for so many times. So you probably have experience with that. Silver Sky, I'm willing to spend my money for another if you recommend it. I trust you. Oh yeah, I mean you instead of getting a Silver Sky, get a Flory. Yeah, and I think there are like 3 color options for Flory. The red one so far is the best. Yeah, the best looking one. Timothy Matthews, PRS SE Paul's guitar is very nice. Yes, I tried that. The only problem I have with that guitar is the bridge, the stop tail, and yeah, it gets a little bit funky when you want to do some intonation, and I do that, because once I change the different gauges of strings, I'm really sticky about intonations as much as I can, especially when I'm recording. So that makes it a bit tedious. It can be done, but it's a bit tedious. So that's the only thing that I got turned off by. Ruben Lim, tuning stability after dive bombs. Well, I think you can just safely saw what I just did, so no worries. Yeah. John Boswell, after all the upgrades to the next Johnston, what would you say percentage-wise are the improvements? Percentage-wise, in terms of sound, well, it depends on what you are comparing it to. If you're comparing it to the single-double option of the next Johnston, the percentage differences is lessened, right? If you compare it to single, then yeah, it gets wider, because if you're putting a humbucker in a bridge, obviously it's an improvement depending on what you're doing, because there's a split call to it. But I guess the improvement in sound is quite how should we call it, quite substantial but not overwhelming, because these are Pasadena's single coils and Pasadena's humbuckers, Pasadena plus humbucker, and I love these pickups because they really sound good, and it complements the guitar itself. It complements the wood. So yeah, in terms of the other improvements like the VegaTrem, which is like a whole lot of improvement, and the ratio tuners because it's staggered, so no more string trees. Let's say give it a modest figure of it's about 40 to 45% improvement over the existing next Johnston that I had, which is already a good design. It's a personal preference, because I can't speak for everybody, because I had problems with the guitar, original format, because of the dot markers, because I couldn't see them. Yeah, so that's the whole reason I started modding, and it never stopped. So I did a math. I did a calculation of this guitar. So including everything that you see here, it's going to set you back about 2,400 Singapore dollars, which is like, how much is 2,000? Okay, you're not hooked up. Hey Siri. How much is 2,400 Singapore dollars in US dollars?
$2,400 is 1,779 US dollars and 70 cents.
Okay, so it's gonna set you back about 1,779. So the guitar, including all the mods, and then you get another guitar, like for example the one that I reviewed, which is a beautiful guitar for exotic. That will set me back like 5,000 plus, 5,006 Singapore dollars, right? And for me, I still prefer this. I love that guitar. I love the exotic. I really like it a lot, but I like this better. Yeah, because of the neck. And that's me. It's just me. Okay, so I hope I answered your question, John. Calvin Teo, waiting on my VegaTrem for my next Johnston traditional SSS2. Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, this will probably help to solve the problem. The other thing that you might want to work on is the nut. Yeah, because I did some work on my nut, this nut, and it worked. Yeah, so that's now you can see there's no other interference other than the nut and the bridge and the saddle of the VegaTrem. There's no other things, no other things involved. We used to have like a string tree here, right? So I eliminated that, so that will help a whole lot. String trees are a main cause sometimes of tuning instability. Like, and that's why a lot of guitars nowadays have the designs change a bit to forego the string trees. Yeah. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, and buy me coffee, super sticker, super chat. Yeah, and just buy me a cup of coffee, which reminds me. All right. Red Llama, I believe these are 250. They're not 500. Yeah, they're 250s. And Wayne told me why, that I shouldn't change. And it was a whole lot. He was telling me, yeah, he's so technical. I love him to bits. And the cornstalk, that's not his name. Those pickups sound great. They are. They are great. I mean, you gotta play it to kind of understand what I'm talking about. The response. And like, even when I'm splitting call, there is a volume difference, and not much. And if I were to kick in a booster, Elizabeth Holloway. Hi, how are you? From Ohio. Ooh. It's far away. Anyway, thank you again, Jack, for the reminder. Yeah, hit me, give me the thumbs up, whatever. Bruce Brooks, yeah. Have you checked out the Fame forum? What was that? It's a PRS. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw it. Yeah, Full Maple. Yeah. I don't know. I seriously don't know until I get a guitar from them and try it out. They look interesting. Yeah, they look interesting. Yeah, I checked out because someone sent me a link of that. One Pro. Greetings, John. What do I prefer? Pedals or processors, and what do you think is a good small multi effect? I'm caught in between those two because I love pedals, always have, and I don't think my love for pedals will ever die. But for convenience sake, especially when I'm doing my tours and doing my shows, when I have to travel and lug instruments and all over the world, multi-processors like the Helix is the way to go for me because one thing, the Helix doesn't have to be dependent on whichever region I'm at. It's a multi. It auto changes your electrical voltage from 120 to 240. With effects, it's all dependent on your power supply. Then you gotta get a step up or a step down transformer depending where you're from. And the fact that there are a whole lot of stuff that can go wrong, like in between the connections and power supply and whatever. And pedals do wear out when you're constantly stomping on it. Yeah, but I guess if I were to do like a nightly gig like I used to back then, like a nightly gig in a club, I'll probably use pedals with my favorite amp, right? Maybe with this amp, I don't know, or with another amp, I don't know, maybe with my favorite Fender amp, the DeVille, and that I would probably use my pedals, all right, because it's gonna be there like every night. Chances of it being manhandled are lessened. But when I'm going on tour, guys like the baggage handlers, they're crazy. So for me, the multiprocessors, I have to pack them real tight so that it doesn't move a whole lot. And it's easy for me when I go to a gig, just break it out, and I'm in business. I don't even need a DI or two DIs, and I'm going stereo. So everything that I need is all there, and all these videos that you've been seeing, the sound, they are all from a Helix, so love them. So that's me, But I still like pedals. Benedict, yes. It's been a while since I watched your live stream. Realized there was some discussion by everyone here regarding the VegaTrem. Do you order yours through someone in SG or from their site? I got it directly from them. Yeah. You can. Well, they're still discussing on who is gonna bring them in Singapore. So yeah, Andre from VegaTrem did approach me, but I didn't have the capability and the capacity to market VegaTrem over on my end. Yeah. So I'll let you guys know who will be the official distributor for VegaTrem here in Singapore. Chris Knights with the candlelight, yeah. They're fake. Kendo Vision, hi, how are you? Where are you from, Kendo? Thank you, Bear. I'm glad you think so. Zenazar? Are the frets stainless? No, they are nickel. Yeah, it's okay. Don't mind. Matthias Jayaputra. All right. On my opinion, what's the best series Harley Benton? I said it. The Fusion. Yeah, the Fusion Pro. So now they have the Fusion 3. They're the best guitars of the lot. Touareg. Hi Jar, I love your playstyle. Would you say that Nick Johnston is a good beginner's guitar without any modifications? Yeah, I would say so. I think it's a great guitar. If you're a beginner, then I would suggest that you get the single humbucker. Yeah, so you have a little bit more to play with instead of just single. Hi Jace, how are you? Thank you, Guitar Safari. This guy, been a boss since I've been here. Been liking the Schecter's update. Thank you. Yeah, I thought I know it's kind of repeating myself. It's like, I'm just this old man repeating himself, like doing so many videos about the Schecter's updates. But I guess it will be helpful to some of you guys out there because if you're looking at this guitar, at the price that it's going for, it's a worthwhile get. It's a great guitar. Like it's really well made. The QC is spot on for this range, this series, and yeah, I mean, good strat if you don't mind the brass inlays, if you can see, and lock-in tuners, So what's not to love? Yeah, great guitar. No, Tim, I will not do it. You know why? I will not do stainless steel guitar for this, stainless steel frets for this guitar because I don't think I'll be playing this all the time. I will be gigging with this, but I'm not like what I used to be when I was younger, like, you know, doing a lot of finger tapping with my pick, which spoils the frets, obviously, because when you're doing this, it's going to spoil the frets. It's going to make indentations on your nickel frets. I don't do that a lot, so this guitar frets will probably last me for years. Yeah, and I have other guitars to tour with, so it's not going to be like overwork like what happened to my old Japanese Strat. If I show you how the frets look like before I got it refretted, you'd be like, whoa, how do you manage to play the guitar for so long? It looks like someone took a chisel and just going this, on the frets. It was in a horrible position, in a horrible situation. But the thing about this guitar is that once you stop playing on it, you just kind of like just don't want to let it go. But I have to let it go. This is another guitar that I absolutely love. I was telling Jeanette the other day, I was talking to her, and I was mentioning to her that this guitar is so underrated and understated in many ways. A lot of people will get really caught up with how the next Johnston look like with all these color options and all that. And this just comes in with white. But this guitar, I love this guitar so much, and one reason is because it shares the same neck profile but yet different. So this has, like, not mistaken, ebony fretboard, same shape, right? Same nut width, everything the same. It comes in with the same stock locking tuners and everything, even the same material for the body. I think this is alder, not mistaken. Yeah, I changed the tremolo to VegaTrem. The thing about this is the combination between the Pasadinas. This is like a Pasadena humbucker and a Pasadena Plus, the same one as I changed the same pickups that I changed for my next Johnston. So Pasadena humbucker, Pasadena Plus humbucker, and a ebony fretboard. And this guitar sounds like really nice. That's not the frets, that's my callus. My calluses kind of like grew out on me. And with the split, haven't tuned the guitar yet. So this is how good a VegaTrem is. Okay. Let's see what it is into. It's almost in tune. It's not too bad, you know. Just a little bit. So I like this guitar because of the way it sounds. You know, it has that that mid range, the lows, you know, the lows and the mid range, and it just cuts through. These are clean sounds. A little bit more to say. Even though the next Johnston has the same pickup, the Pasadena Plus, it just sounds a little bit different from how it sounds like over here. Yeah. The only thing that that you might want to change later on is the pots, because it's probably because of the room. Yeah, you can hear that? Static. Yeah. If I were to, like, you know, squirt this with my WD-40 contact cleaner, it would be fine. The other way that I want to do is, I used to do is just to do this so it gets clean after a while. Some moisture that I guess that gets collected in this room. There you go. Still a bit. Yeah, you want to get Bear? You want to get a Jeff Fowler model? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a great guitar. You know? I love it because it's very versatile. You can kind of like know that it sounds great. Clean. I had a C1 years ago. It just felt lifeless, so I've been bitter about Schecter. This one looks really nice. Yeah. Timothy Matthews, has your wife ever asked you to put the guitar down? Nope. I guess she prefers me holding a guitar than another woman. And yes, Orin, yes. It does sound a little bit heavier, even though this is about the same weight. In fact, the guitar is similar to the Nick Johnston, except for the ebony fretboard. And I think the Nick Johnston has a version a version with the ebony fretboards too. So you might want to go for that. But the ebony fretboard doesn't make it sound warmer. In fact, ebony fretboard is a real hard wood, you know. This one is my stage guitar. This and the right now the Nick Johnston will be my stage guitar. Timothy Matthews, does the Sun Valley Shredder use Pasadena pubs? I don't think so. I think they, if I'm not mistaken, I think they use what's the other one? The Monsters or something like that. I'm not too sure. Yeah. Steve, I hope you get a chance to check out NC guitars. Real solid. Yeah, so many guitars, you know, out there. It's crazy. Somebody scream right now. Why? The only place that I play live is in church. It's the only place to play. Single coil right now. bound to happen sooner or later because I haven't changed strings for this for a long time. It's my second B string. Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna do it first. I'm gonna change strings while doing this last string. Okay. So bear with me. Let me get my cup of coffee. Jace have been out of touch with the music side for quite a bit. I always love hearing you play. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. So when I change my strings, basically these are the two things that that I must have, of course, the tuner and the strings. So lately I've been putting this on for the guitars that I love, or rather the guitars that I play a lot. These are the stay in tunes. See that way? Correct. Yeah, great. I love these strings. So for the VegaTrem, in order to change strings for VegaTrem, try not to take all the strings out at one time. I know that the temptation is there for you to take out everything. What I do is I will like take out like 2 strings at one time, and then the only time when I take out all the strings is when I want to kind of like oil the fretboard. This fretboard has been oiled and it's always been played, so there's no need because you have your natural oil from your fried chicken that you just had. Your fingers. So yeah, you don't need to oil them all the time. Yeah, if you're playing guitar, if you're playing a certain guitar frequently, you don't have to oil your fretboard. Actually, in contrary to what people say, you know, you only oil fretboards when, say for example, you live in Colorado, Rocky Mountain Highway, it gets really dry, and you don't want the fretboard to crack. That's the only time that you need to put on some oil for your fretboard. Singapore is really humid, so there's no need for that. So the thing about it, the stay in tune strings is that it comes with just 3 packages, and it's kind of weird. You have like 1 and 4, 2 and 5, and 3 and 6. So you can always like do 2 strings at one time if you want to. So I'm going to do the B strings first. So I'm going to do the 5, right? The 5 and 2. So what I do is I'll take out the B strings, the A string 2, which is the 5th. So lock-in tuners are really convenient, right? Oh, I forgot to tell you. That's the only drawback about the VegaTrem. Is that, hold on, you need to take out a back plate when you're changing strings. So what I do is I have only 4 screws here, so it's easy for me to take them out. So don't mind me, guys. Just ask me questions and I'll answer them as I go. I'm trying to get in the habit of multitasking. Larry Jackson, Michigan in the house. Any fastest there? We're the most creative here, right? Michigan is probably like getting colder right now, right? Why is it so hard to come out? Okay, so once the back plate is off, you can just kind of like, can you see what I'm doing? Okay. Just cut off a bit of it. Make sure there's enough for you to pull this off. So the cavity is like this. So the strings will come and slide off from here. Right? Can you see those ball ends? Right. So that's the reason why you have to take off the back plate. That's the only inconvenient part. Yeah. Once you have it squared away, you'll be fine. Daniel, DeAndre, yes, I'm based in Singapore. Yeah. This is my country, this is my home. Yeah. What, Samuel? I can only do one thing at a time, but I can nail it. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm really bad at multitasking. Really bad at multitasking. I mean, stuff like this fine, but like, I used to tour, for the concert tours and stuff like that, and I would get like jobs coming in for arrangements, and I just couldn't do it because my whole attention would be upon the concert, and so much energy that that you have to expend on your concert tour, because you want to be professional about it, you want to do your job properly, right? So okay, this is why locking tuners are so easy. Just measure up to it, or rather just pull your strings through it. Can't see nothing. Okay, so once you pull the strings to it, make sure it's just tight, right? Lock the locking tuners, just lock it real tight. Just cut off and snip off the ends, and you're done. You don't need any slack, like what we used to do with the traditional tuners. This is just easy. Once you get it in tune, I'll tell you why I don't take off all the strings at one time, and just tune it. Okay, stretch it a little bit. Okay, now for the B string. The reason why I don't take off all the string at one time is because I don't want to start fooling around with the intonation again, because it gets really tedious when you're doing intonation. And the other thing about this VegaTrem is that sometimes the hole, when you're slotting like your strings in, it gets a bit tricky. You got to find a way to do this correctly. So it depends on how you intonate your guitar. Sometimes when you have the saddles pulled too far back, then the opening is going to get smaller, so you're going to have a hard time putting the strings in. But once you nail it, you'll be fine. How? What? How is? You feel me on that? All right. You're gonna have problems like this even on the Goto tuners. Same thing. So, yeah, it's like a weird thing. And worst come to worst, I mean, if you really can't get the string through, like what I'm facing right now, you can always unlock the saddles and make sure that you go back to the same position that you're in. Push it through and push the string in, and you'll be fine. Yeah, my Logify is because you're using a Floyd Rose. So the nail, I can't see, but But how is the Schecter compared to the Harley Benton Fusion? Well, for one, they share a lot of similarities because they're both. I'm gonna do the B string layer. I'm gonna do the rest. Don't want to waste time. They're both manufactured in Indonesia. All right, that's for one. The difference, I guess, is the choice of colors that Schecters offer. I don't see a lot of orange guitars floating around these days. So it's and green and whatever color combination they have. The thing about the Fusion Pro and the Schecters, it's the design of the Schecter guitars itself, yeah, and the pickups. I think the most logical, or rather most obvious difference are the pickups, because the Schecters have really great pickups, because Schecters are really known for their pickups too, in contrary to what a lot of people think. When we talk about Schecters, we always think about maybe they're just good for the guitars and that's about it. But no, Schecters are really good on they do really great pickups, and I have the first hand experience of that. I didn't even know the Schecter actually make pickups. I didn't know a lot of things about Schecter. All I know was it's an American guitar company. I didn't know that they were they used to do replacement parts for Fender Strats and Gibsons and stuff like that. And they used to have a shop down in Van Nuys in Southern California, and there's a whole lot of history that goes around in Schecter. But part of history is guitar making. Oh man, where's my? Is this where my strings are? Okay, so part of history is in pickups. So they do really nice pickups, and as you can see from what you call it, the Pasadenas, and even the ones on, say, the PT Special, yeah, they're nice pickups, Their version of the P90s, they call it the V90s. I love them, so good. Okay. Was that using? Okay, so sorry, I missed out a couple of you guys. Hold on, just give me a second. I gotta say I'm real bad at multitasking. Yeah, that's the way to go, because floating bridge. That's the problem with floating bridge. Okay, I have a problem with a D string too. Couldn't put my strings through. What? Are you using a reverb pedal or an echo pedal to the awesome reverb sound that you always have? Yes, I do. I actually utilizes a delay sometimes and a reverb. You haven't changed. Man, slacker. Why is it so hard to go through? It's so weird. Tony Howe, new guitar, new gear day. Brought my first Epiphone in a while. The Alex Lifeson Les Paul, nice. Okay. Scott Foyros. All right, cool. Go for it, man. Unless you want to get something else, yeah, just to give you a little bit more scope. My Logify, they have D Audio's. Yeah, okay, the X series. Yeah, do it, Daniel. It's a interesting guitar to have. So here's what people won't tell you about the VegaTrem. But if you set it correctly, it should be easy. Like changing strings on my next Johnston is easy. I don't have this problem. I'll tell you why I have this problem on the Jack Fowler later on. It's because of the way the guitar is. You know, when I first installed the VegaTrem, the differences in height, I don't know what happened, because maybe it's because of the ebony fretboard, but it seems to be a bit higher. So I had problem in getting my VegaTrem to be in line with the neck. So I had to put washers into the mounting plate, you know, so that it kind of like elevate everything up so that it's easy. And because of that, you know, your intonation will kind of be a bit wonky. But now I've settled this. I've solved that problem. But the D string, as you can see, is like a bit way out, so it's harder for me to put in my strings because it's so far out or so far back. So it's an easy fix actually. I'm gonna do it right now so that you guys can actually see. You just need to find the right tool for it. So once you unlock that, there's a locking nut over on your saddles. So once you unlock that, this should be easy. There you go. Because it's been pulled back a whole lot because of the intonation, and that's why it's hard to pull your strings through. And the reason why it's pulled back all the way is because of the intonation, like I said, right? And once you had it locked in, that's it. So now I'm going to pull it back to the same position that it was in and locked it. So I normally use a flathead screwdriver so that I can have more leverage on it. Pull it all the way back. I mean, I understand some of you guys don't like to do all this because it's like, you know, really tedious. So, but it's always good to learn about this stuff so that you can do string changing yourself instead of sending to guys like Wayne. And learn a little bit more about guitar and you know what make things work and how to maintain your guitar, because in the long run it's going to save you a whole lot of money and you're going to feel better about your guitar. Alright, so it's done. Where's my B string? Oh, where's my E string? Yeah, my E string is here. You asked about a Schecter because you're looking for one, a new Super Strat, and you already own the Fusion. The Fusion is a Super Strat, you know. It is a Super Strat. So if you're gonna look for another one, yeah, then the Schecter might be the way to go. Alan, Schecter has a bad reputation that the brand was. I know. I thought the same too. I thought it was like it's all the metal hits, and all these demonic names that they come up with, which is like, yeah. And I had a bad impression upon them at the get-go, until I start seeing their more traditional models like the PTs, the Telecaster, the Pete Townsend Telecasters and stuff like that. And I find, wow, they actually make really nice guitars. So don't mind me, guys. I'm actually at the end of my stream. So if you're gonna go. I'm just gonna like change the strings out, and then I'm done. But in the meantime, like I said, if you got questions, ask me. Yeah, just go ahead and ask me. See what happens when you grow old. You can't see shit. Okay, done. Pull the string tight. Lock it. Snip. You're done. Samuel, maybe your guitar need more foreplay before inserting the strings. We are a clean channel here. Family friendly. Don't go there. Ugh. Okay, seems fine. So the last bench is what? The strings. The way the strings are packaged is to spread the tension on the bridge while changing it. Always, yeah, I guess so. When I used to have my Ford Rose, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare changing strings, because you cannot just change like everything like that. At one go. You got to like string per string so that the tension doesn't run, because it's a pain to where was I? What is this is an E string. Yeah, E and third string. Okay, so E strings. So it was to intonate a Ford Rose is like a nightmare for me. You guys spend at least an hour or so to get your guitar properly intonated using the Ford Rose. But once you had it fixed, then that's it. It doesn't run. That's the thing about it. What is E and G? E and G. These stock tuners are okay. The ones on my Schecter was on the Nick Johnston was gave me a whole lot of problem, and that's the reason why I changed it to the radius, or was it the ratio? The ratio from GraphTech. I kept on pronouncing it as radius. I don't know why. Hi, David. Good to see you here. Okay, so now to pull out, it's a bit hard because the E string is so thick. Hello, someone. Privet. Do I recommend the NJ for beginners? Is the guitar too heavy? No, it's not. It's not heavy at all. And I think I answered that question just now. It's yeah, I would recommend it for a beginner. How often do I swap strings? Well, depending on the frequency that I play. You know, sometimes I would like swap strings, especially on my say my next Johnston. I'll probably like do them like once every 2 months, I guess, because I'm blessed with a relatively dry hand, so I don't perspire. There's not a lot of fluid coming, you know, that derives from my hand, so it's fine. Unless you have like really sweaty fingers, you know, then you probably have to change your guitar strings a whole lot. And yeah, it's really bad because your hardware starts to get tarnished and stuff like that. It's an ugly sight. I have a couple of friends who have really sweaty fingers or sweaty palms. Why is this so hard? Almost done. Whew, done. So where was I? Okay, how did the Exotic compare to the Schecters you've been playing? Oh yeah. It's a great guitar. Like I mentioned in the video, it feels like a guitar that I've owned for like ages. You know, a very familiar feel to it. You know, it's like a combination of all the strats that I've played through the years, and it just feels so comfortable in my hands. And the pickups are really nice. You know, it's easy to get tones on that guitar. I really like it. Like, just the price, you know, the price is a bit crazy for me. You know, it's a whole lot expensive, and I don't need those those incredible flame maple necks, roasted maple necks. Don't need that, and that's a bit too, too bling for me. A nice bird's eye maple would do. Nice, roasted bird's eye maple. That would do fine for me. But that's like a double grade or something like that. It's like one of the most expensive necks you can ever find. And yeah, they make. I mean, they make nice guitars. I'll hand it to them. It's a great guitar. And when I came out that video, I know people is going to ask me how will it compare to the next Johnston, and I don't know how to answer that question. I guess it's a very different guitar. Why is there no sound? Oh, it's auto off? No way! Oh no, I didn't turn it. I turned it off. Okay. Right. So, Tony, how? Okay. So, all right. So Tony stays in Edmond. Samuel. Oh well, I forgot. Hello from. Oh, okay. Samuel, you're from Quebec. I was there. Love it. I love all the French-speaking Canadians there. They don't care. They don't give two hoots about where you're from. They just converse with you in French. I was in a cafe, in a coffee shop, and I was ordering my coffee in English, and this old dude came up and just started talking to me, having a conversation with me in French, and whatever French I can muster, which is not a lot, So, well, in the end, I think he knew that I was suffering, I was struggling. Then he kind of reverted back to his French accented English, which was a relief. I like Ottawa. I find Ottawa is really beautiful in spring. I was up there many years ago. Did a Canadian tour across the country. Went to Quebec, across Vancouver, Montreal, and then Ottawa. And there's one more place I went. I forgot. Nice. I love it. Alright, so oh, cool. You have to try Costa Rican coffee, otherwise you don't know what you're missing. Hi, James. James Tajada, you're from Campbell, California? I hear you, Samuel. Okay, cool. So, what are Dave? Are the pots used on most Indonesian guitars made there, or are they imported from China? I have absolutely no ideas. I guess they're a mixed bunch. The ones on the which one? On the ones on the Schecter PT Special, the purple one, the Tally. Those a lot of parts are made in Korea. Mostly some of the OEM stuff. I guess the ones on the Hardy Bentons are probably made in China, and they're not all bad. Some of them are pretty decent. and I guess the Schecter ones have a mixture of both from the States as well as from China. The Tribute for GNLs, yeah, they have the same trait. They have some parts that are not from the States, you know. Only pickup stuff from the States. I guess the rest are like, you know, OEM stuff from China or from local. I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. I say I'm not really good at slide. Okay, stay tuned. In and out. Oh, Dave, why'd you do this to me? I'm so hungry. In and out. Man. Hello, Julidado from Chicago. How are you doing? Hi, Magic. How are you, Magic? Okay, so where were we? Let me saw a couple of you guys. So, have my Logify Joe. Have you played Fishman Pickups? They are also really nice. The modern influence ones. They sound like. No, I don't like them. Sorry, but I've tried a couple of them. I think the last one I tried. Yeah, don't really take a liking to it so far. I mean, the pickups that I've tried from Fluence. Yeah. About Harley Benton, Russia is not a member of the European Union. And it means that Russian customers are not required to pay VAT. Wow. You're not required to pay VAT? That's good. It's a good thing, right? What do you think about it? Would you like not to have to pay VAT either? Of course. I mean, I don't have to pay VAT, I guess. I don't know whether am I paying if I order from Harley Benton. But we have to pay GST in Singapore, so this is like the goods sales tax, goods and services tax, and I think it's at 13% or something like that. I'm not mistaken. So the last shipment that came in from Harley Benton, you know, the T90 and the what you call the Aeolus, even though it's a guitarist that's been sent from Harley Benton for the review, I have to pay GST for it because Harley Benton declared the full amount of the guitar. Yeah. So I think they need to be transparent about what they send out. So I had to pay GST for it. I pay like $70 over Singapore dollars, so it's still okay. Yeah. So what will be? Bear. I wish. No, I have food. I have food outside in the kitchen, just waiting for me to munch, to chow down. Just yeah. See, it's a totally different thing. The PRS just sounds totally different, and this is on humbucking mode. Last pickup. I just love this tone. Samuel, fun thing is for a while I tried to do my best to hide my accent till I went to Toronto and realized the girls found my accent so exotic. I'll bet. Yeah, I'll bet. I will in time. Can you hear that? Can you hear the harmonics that's in that passage I just played? You hear that? Yeah, it's like crazy, you know. It's not good for everything because it has a real crystal clear timbre to it. I did, Dave. I love In-N-Out's burgers. My logic, a great distance taken with the bicycle. I always like to see your distance statistic. Nah, it's nothing. This is like a far cry from what I used to do when I first started back in 2015, 16. Back then I was like doing like 60, 70 km every 2-3 days. You know, and I've gone old. So I try to keep my ride short. And I'm gonna hit 60 soon. Probably not in age. I mean the distance. Pretty soon. I need to just kind of train up a little bit. Okay, Sam. James Tejada, do you think there's a bit too much brand snobbery, or is there acceptance to not so popular brands like Cod and Harley Benton? Of course, of course. There used to be a whole lot of snobbery back then. We're talking about as near as like 3 years ago. Guys were like raving about the PRSs. PRSs I think has the most. PRS users are at one time pretty high up there on the list of snobs, and then the Gibsons and whatever, and the Sir. But I guess with the emergence of Harley Benton and guys like CJ guitars and whatever you have out there, people kind of like wise up to the fact that, hey, dude, I don't have to pay a whole lot of money to get a good guitar, as as that was demonstrated by me. So guys like me, and I just wanted to prove one point is that you don't have to have like a real expensive guitar like like a PRS that costs like 6,000 or 7,000 just to sound good. You don't have to. A relatively good guitar will set you back maybe about $1,000 US, or even less than that. Like the Fusion Pros, they cost less than that, and they sound good. They're pro standard, and a lot of people. You know how it is. Watches, cars. You gotta have an Apple Watch. You gotta have an Omega watch. You have to have a Tissot, or you have to have all those funny brands that couldn't even bother to pronounce. And cars. Nobody wants to drive a Hyundai. Everybody wants to drive something hip, like a Tesla. Like a McLaren or something like that. It's all about branding. But when it comes to guitar and when it comes to music, I think a lot of misconception has arrived from the fact that only good brands make good guitars. Now, this is something that I have been thinking about a lot lately, because I've been reviewing like the real cheap guitars to real expensive guitars. And yes, you will probably get better appointments when you pay for a more expensive guitar. This guitar that you see here, this is an S2. It doesn't cost as much as the core PRS models. This will set you back about grand 1,004 US, or maybe less than that. I don't know. So I got this because I thought, hey, this is a worthwhile guitar to get. This comes in the same range as my Luke 2 from Ernie Ball Music Man. The Ernie Ball Music Man set me back $2,000 in Sing. This about, hey Siri, how much is Hey Siri, how much is 2,000 Singapore dollars in US dollars?
$2,000 is 1,483 US dollars
around
and
the same
55
price.
cents.
So the Luke costs about the same price, about 1,004 US. And I got the Luke because I totally love the Luke, and never regret it. Still with me, still loving it. And this is the same. It falls to the same category. And you might think that 1,004 is a chunk of money, but for me, I think it's worth it because the appointments are there, the pickups are there, sound good. It sounds good, it looks good, fine. I'll just buy it. And then comes the other lower tier, like the Schecters. Schecters is the it's a no-brainer. Go out and get it. The Jack Fowler, the Nick Johnston, they are worth the money. And the pickups, like I said, the thing that stands out about Schecter are the pickups. Then the Harley Bentons. The Harley Benton Fusion Pros, they are great guitars. Great playability. I mean, some of you guys probably out there, I get guys, writing in, some of the subscribers saying that they receive a lemon, that the frets are not even out properly. We're talking about the Fusion Pros, not the cheaper models. And I can understand that because sometimes QC, and you can always return it, if you want to. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the guitars are great, playable off the box, but pickups. You know, some of the pickups are lacking. You know, and pickups are the soul of the guitar. You know, if you want a guitar to sound good, make sure you have the right pickups. You know, and it's a combination between the pickups and the woods and the fretboard. You know, how you are able to make a guitar sing. You know. This combination just works, you know, and that's the reason why I got it, because when I was reviewing it, yeah, so when I was reviewing, I was like, wow, this guitar really sounds good. Same impression that I had with my next Johnston. Well, after it sounded good with the original pickups, you know. The same reaction that I had with my Jack Fowler. When I first played the Jack Fowler, I was going, whoa, this guitar really sounds good. And it's not expensive, you know. So if you talk about the appointments that this guitar has for 1,004 US, yeah, it's what it has. It has the PRS locking tuners. It has great Indian rosewood fretboard, mahogany neck, mahogany body. Pickups are like, you know, really worth it. The 8515s, these are really good, even though they're the 8515S. And these are things that I consider. You know, I was thinking to myself. But then again, I played in some of the worst guitars that I ever played before, and they're cheap. They're like, yeah, they're really cheap. Like we're talking about $200 US, or $300, and they are hard to play. You know, they are really hard to play, and it hurts my fingers. And I believe I remember I asked Wayne once. I asked him. I said, why does certain guitars put pain into my fingertips? Why do certain guitars? Why are certain guitars so hard to play? You know, and he was telling me about the fretboard. You know, the material the fretboard is in, and the way the frets are installed. You know, some of them are not installed properly. Like you guys know, like sometimes when you play on a cheap guitar, well, not cheap guitar, affordable guitar, that, you know, the strings, when you're bending it, it's not smooth. There's like something like rubbing against sandpaper. Yeah, so the frets are not polished. You know, so you get all this kind of stuff on cheaper guitars sometimes, not all the time. And there are a couple of times when I played on a real cheap guitar, like we're talking about $99 Sing, and it played well. The frets are polished, everything is smooth. I have no pain at all, even though I come off playing with residue of the fretboard on my fingers, which is easily washable, which is easily taken care of by just, you know, cleaning the fretboard and then oiling it, you know. And those were like a surprise to me, like, you know, wow, $99, you know. Remember those guitars that I tried from Art? You know, Art guitars are nice. They're well made, easy to play. You know, of course, you know, looking at the price range, there's bound to be compromises. You know, you can't possibly expect like a $5,000 or $6 a guitar in a $2 package or $300 package or $500 or $400 package. No way. You know, you have to be realistic about that. So a lot of people are unrealistic about that. You know, they'll make a whole lot of noise because they bought a 300 guitars or 200 guitars, and they complain about fret work and fret job, and guitars are not, you know, the certain things that are not really taken care of, like the pickups, the wirings and stuff like that. But you got to take in consideration that the amount of cost that it took to manufacture that guitar, you cannot expect like good workmanship or great workmanship. You expect at least a decent amount of workmanship, which I think they try. You know, sometimes along the way, things get overlooked. You know, that's human error. Sometimes along the way, during the shipment, things get knocked about. Like, there's this guitar that I had, the SC550. It came in and the front pickup wasn't working at all because the switch was loose. So I managed to settle that, but then it came back again later on when I sold the guitar to another friend of mine, and it came back again, but he got it squared away. So these things happen because either during the shipment something get knocked about, or just a question of lower grade components. And they have to keep keep the prices down. So that's henceforth the lower grade components, because the components on this guitar is of much higher quality because of the price range. So we have to be realistic about this. Snobbery has no place in music, has no place in the world. I don't believe in snobbery. I equate snobbery to bully, to being a bully. That's how much I hate snobbery. I hate snobs. I look upon them as bullies. So try not to be a snob if you can, right? The world has changed so much during COVID. Everybody's the same. Look at everybody. Everybody is suffering the same thing from COVID. The virus has no preference for the higher class or for the lower class. Everybody will get hit. The Delta variant don't give two hoots about who you are, whether you're American or whether you're British or whether you're from China or from Cambodia or from India. They don't care, right? So that's how small the world has become. And what's the point of being a snob? No point. Guys used to come up to me and say that, look, I had this boutique pedal. It cost me like $800 for this distortion, this overdrive pedal, and it's a dream. I said, oh, yeah, I believe it's a dream. I believe it sounded good. But if you're going to tell me that your pedal costs that much and it's better because it costs that much, then I think you're missing the point. Now, a pedal can cost that much, but you bloody make sure that it sounds good, really, really good, that it's worth the $800 that you put in. Like I tried pedals from Nuex, from Joyo. Dude, we're talking about $50 Singapore dollars, right? That's like $30 US, and it sounded great. So how do you justify the fact that you have a more expensive equipment and then you're being a snob at it? I don't think that's fair at all. Yes, Tony, those are from those are my backing tracks. Those are actually the reviews that I did for acoustic guitars. Like I did a whole lot of reviews for acoustic guitars. So in case you guys, please go take a look at the playlist for the acoustic guitars, the Martins, the Anyers, and the Takaminis, because I spend a lot of time doing those. And well, apparently I'm more known for electric guitars. So, but I do reviews on acoustic guitars. So these are from my acoustic guitar videos. Yeah. Fa padre, ciao, come sta? David, I'm really liking my new Martin D18. Yeah, nice. Yes, I played on a Koa before. Love it. Have you tried Harley Benton guitar strings? I think I did. I think I bought a couple of these together with my friend Jeff, and it worked. Yeah. What is your favorite pickup configuration? HH, HSS, SSS, PP90s? I think this single humbucker is my go-to, and now I think I like the double, the humbucker HH. I kind of like the configuration that I'm hearing right now. I think it's great. I mean, if you're able to, get a decent sound. thing about this guitar is that if you kind of like lower the volume down and you're single coil, split coil, it sounds almost like an acoustic guitar. It's how clear the pickups are. But if you change to a different pickup configuration, it sounds different again. Yeah, the amount of tones that I can get from this guitar is quite impressive, and that's why I got this guitar. Yeah, basically, and the Luke has like my favorite combination in the guitar itself. Like it has the Steve Lukather EMG setup, the pickups, and I just absolutely love them. And just mind you, back then there was not this. There's no desire to put like split coils in those humbuckers. So yeah, it's basically a straightforward single humbucker, and I just love it. Yeah. Bear, what do you think? What do I think? Jack Fowler versus PRS, totally different. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're totally different guitars. You know, I love both of them. And the Sparky, don't forget the Sparky, the Harley Benton Sparky. I love that guitar too. It has a different character to it. It's a darker sounding. Well, there again, there you go again. It's not darker. It's like warm chocolate. It's warmer than any of these guitars combined. Yeah, it just sounded great. Yeah. Sire, I think they're nice. I'm trying to get my hands on one of those if I can, but it's going to take me a while because of the COVID, you know, and I haven't had a chance to talk to that guy, you know. So, what's in my bike 2 kit? I have a sort of like a Swiss knife 2 for the bicycle. I'm running tubeless, so there's no need for me to carry any inner tubes or CR2, CR02, nothing. I just have that tool, and then I have my driving license. That's about it. I carry my iPhone with me, so whenever I go to Starbucks or the coffee shop, you know, I'll pay by Apple Pay. It's fine. Or I have my keys, my house keys, and a hairband tie. That's about it. That's in my small little tool bag, which I put in my back pocket of my jersey, and that's about it. Yeah. I love Koh guitars. I have a few acoustics. I'm Howard, so it might be generic. I think so. Card Tech produce. Where? What? James? What? Which guitar is Card Tech produced? Is your Luke the USA or Sterling? I have a Sterling L100. I can't get a USA version in New Zealand. Oh, mine is the USA version. Yeah, I had 2 Lukes. The first one, I had the Luke with the White Rose. That was a beautiful guitar, and somehow it got misplaced. So I bought a second one, which is a Luke 2, and they are also made in California. The thing about the Luke, you have to order it, and then they'll start making a guitar. They won't like mass produce the guitars. This is for the US side, you know. Jace, thanks for the beautiful. Okay, good night, Jace. You take care, huh? Oh, the art? No, the art's made in China. They are Chinese made. What impresses me about the art guitar, and some of the guitars that I made in China, like I'm not mistaken, some of the grassroots from ESP, they are made in China. I'm telling you right now, the workmanship is like crazy. It's like impeccable. One of the nicest guitars that I've ever seen that has been mass produced, and a lot of CNC going on. I find that the standard has gone up like tremendously high, and I was talking to a couple of my friends who are into like retails of guitars and all that, and there are a lot of Korean makers, Korean guitar makers, who have decided to shift their manufacturing process to China because they had the same standard but at a lower cost than what they charge in Korea itself. So imagine that, you know, back then, but talking about 6 years ago, you know, when we would scoff at China-made guitars because, you know, it represents like bad workmanship or, you know, sloppy workmanship. And no, those days are gone, long gone. You know, these guitars that I'm seeing from grassroots, from art, and from some China brands, man, those guitars are like, yeah, they're really good. They're really well made. Yeah. Thomason Guitar. Hi, Jonathan. Why do you change your channel? Why? Well, hi, you're from Norway. It's another country I want to go. I want to visit there. So why did I change my channel name to Jon is Too Loud? Now, Jon is Too Loud is the name for my Facebook page for this channel. When I first created it about 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. And I always had my YouTube channel as my name, Jon Koh, which I thought I should just have the same name with the Facebook page. So Jon is Too Loud. And sometimes I do get too loud. Nice. Oh, I miss PVMs. I used to have a PVM way back then. It was great. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Connolly. Oh man, what happened? Where are you? Ah, okay. It's been a long time, Dara. I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing, Mr. Connolly? All right, Samuel. You take care. Au revoir. What? The PRS? This PRS? This PRS is from the States. This is the S2. Stands for something. Something that what I read about it. I forgot what is it. It's about the second factory that PRS built in order to cater to the mid-range guitars. Henceforth, the S2. So S2 stands for SS something. That's the name for it. You know, you PRS fanboys would know about this. Yeah. So this is made in the States. They're not made in Indonesia. The SE, yes, the SE are made in Indonesia under Cord. Oh, the Bacchus guitars are nice. Yeah. Bacchus guitar is another example of how good guitars are right now from China. Great. That's great. I'm glad, Dara. I'm glad you're doing well. Speaking of projects, come next week I might disappear for a wee bit because I'm supposed to start my arrangements. You know, I'm doing this project. I have to commence on the project soon, so I have to start arranging, and yeah, the reviews would be lessened. Now, don't worry. Once I finish the project, I'll come back in full force again. I just gotta get this project completed in time. Yep. So it's work. So I can't fault that, and I'm blessed to have work still. Yeah. So. Hey, Pooh. Take care. Hi, Esther. You're up late. It's 2:30 and you're still awake. Go to sleep, Esther. I'm going off too. Yeah. Do I have a EC1000? I played on one. I liked it, but no, I do not own one. I'm hungry. I'm very hungry. So I'm gonna go soon, but I thought of playing something before I go. Let me find a backing track that I can fool around with. How does it sound? Right down before, so. Yo, Manny, yeah. Thank you. Gumani. Gumani? What's this? It's not these backing tracks I played, you know, I never heard them for a long time. So I didn't know I was on single coil for the first song. So the second one was on the humbucker, humbucker mode. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I gotta eat. Thank you for keeping me company on this Saturday morning. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be at 2:45 a.m. right now. So I hope that you guys will have a good day. Just let me pray a little bit for you guys, if I am allowed to. All right. So thank you, Jesus, for everyone here. I just pray the Lord that you will watch over them. You will watch over their families. That Lord, that you would protect them from any infection, any harm, any dangers, Lord. Lord, watch over their families too. I also pray the Lord that you will always bless them with the desire to make music and to make those around them happy and filled with joy, Lord. Lord, I just pray that joy is the thing that we are able to dispense. I just pray the Lord that we will dispense them generously and not to hoard it. I just also pray the Lord that you would put peace into their hearts to know that, Lord, that you're always watching for them. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. It's okay, Mr. Connolly. It was good seeing you here. You know, I was wondering where you've been. Yeah, so it's always good to see you. Thank you, Alan. God bless you too. Thank you, Lucas. So, Bear, how is it like in Arizona right now? Is it hot? I miss Arizona. I miss Tucson. Thank you, Torek. Good night, Esther. It's cool. Oh, cool. Right. So it's not hot. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We're in the fall right now, right? It's fall. I like Tucson when it's like around this time, September, October, November. Yeah, it gets kind of like, nice. It's comfortable, right? So it's dry at the same time. It's a great time to go out and have a bike ride. Actually, yeah, in the 80s, man. 80s Fahrenheit. It's nice. It's a nice weather. I have another brother that was staying in where's that place? See, short-term memory loss. I get that when I'm when I'm hungry. Phoenix, yeah. So he texts me like his Scooter, yeah, Scooter. In case you know, Bear, he's in Phoenix. He's based in Tucson or Phoenix? In Tucson? Well, Phoenix. I don't know, one of these places. Yeah. Or in South Carolina. Wow, nice. That's a nice place to be. Yeah. Peace and blessing to everyone. Right. So take care of yourself, or don't do things that I would not do. Right. And I'll see you again on the next live stream. We'll see what happens. If I can, how should I say? If I catch up with my work, then probably I'll do another one next week. If not, then I'll see you guys in a fortnight. Yeah, Scooter is from Phoenix. Yeah, I remember right now. Yeah. I actually got on the phone with him. Spoke to him for a while, for a wee bit, and Yeah. Nice brother. Yeah. He reminds me so much of another guy that I know who is from Tucson. He's a pastor. And yeah, he just sound like him. Just sounded like him. The same heart. Yeah, the same conviction. In any case, I gotta go. You guys take care of yourself. I'm gonna eat. I'm so famished. I'm like really hungry. So take care. I'll see you real soon. Bye bye. God bless.